Designing databases using MySQL. What is a database? In this section, we will talk about what a database actually is. When people talk about a database, they mean many things. So we want to define what a database really is. What is a database? A simple definition of database is that it is an ordered collection of data. It does not have to be a MySQL or any other database. Even if we have data collected in a notepad text file, it may be a database. Usually, people mean one of these three things when they talk about a database. The first is the database application like phpMyAdmin or adminer. This is just an interface to interact with our data in the database, or the database management system like MySQL or Postgres. These are also commonly referred to as database. Sometimes the data itself, the phone numbers or the names, are referred to as a database. But according to Oxford English Dictionary, a database is a structured collection of data held in computer storage, especially one that incorporates software to make it accessible in a variety of ways. So why do we use a database? The main reason of using a database is that it reduces any duplicate data or redundancy. This also reduces the errors as all the data in the database is consistent with each other. Also, because all the database is present in one location, it is easy to ensure its correctness, easy to secure it, and also it's very easy to maintain it. Modern databases are also very scalable. For example, by increasing the RAM capacity, we may be able to process many more database transactions at the same time. Modern databases also support concurrency. This means that more than one user can access the database at the same time. What is a DBMS or a database management system? A DBMS is a software designed to model the data and provide data interaction to the user. We interact with the database using either the command line or GUI clients like phpMyAdmin. Database contains data which is stored in tables. The tables are stored in one or more physical files. The database is nothing but a set of files, and within those files, the database organizes the data in rows and columns. The data is broken down and stored in multiple tables, and the data can cross-reference each other. This property is used in relational databases. MySQL is one of the most popular relational databases. Relational databases are based on set theory and were first proposed by Edgar Codd in 1969. In a relational database, the data is organized in rows and columns, and each row has a unique identifier. Here are some of the more popular relational databases. MySQL is one of the most popular RDBMS today, but Postgres is another free option. Microsoft SQL Server is Microsoft version of RDBMS, and Oracle RDBMS is from Oracle Corporation. All of these are quite similar to MySQL in terms of database functionality. SQLite is a database which is completely based on a single file. So this is an example of what a database looks like. We have a database here called bookstore, and one of the tables inside it is called cust address. Inside of the cust address table, we have columns called ID, customer, address, address to, city, and state. These columns are also called the fields in a database. When we create our tables, we must either use this format of lowercase with an underscore separating words, or we can use camel case, in which we don't use underscore, but the second and third letter would be capitalized. Inside this table, we have 11 rows of actual data. Each customer address has an ID, it has an address to, a city, and a state. Interacting with databases. MySQL is actually a database server, and we have to use a database client to connect to the MySQL server. While working with a database, we typically carry out four things. We create data, we select it, we can update the data, and delete the data. We can do these activities to individual fields, to a particular column, to an entire table, or in short, to any data that we want. SQL. To talk to the database through the client, we use a special language called SQL or structured query language. It is a special programming language that is based on mathematics and allows us to interact with the data in a relational database. In SQL, every command we issue is either a DDL or a DML. Most of the operations in our DBMS are one of the four: create, read, update, or delete, and these are commonly called CRUD. Suppose we have a database of our contacts. Then we will be able to create the contacts, read them, update them, and finally delete them.